Sorry, I think she's trying to unmute herself.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning, Dumebi. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Doing very well, thank you. How are you doing as well?
I'm good. Very fine. Thank you. Rotimi, thank you. I see you. Thank you.
Okay, good to have you here. So we'll start. We know you're an amazing boss mom in business and you have gone so far. So who to you, in your own words, is the boss mom?
Oh, a boss mom. A boss mom is a mom who has decided to call the shots, who owns her business, has her children. In fact, I just checked out the, I think the meaning somewhere, and I love that meaning so much. It says that a boss mom is a badass woman who is raising her children and also growing a business. She's raising her children and growing a business. That's a badass woman. Oh my goodness. That's the definition I've decided to go with. So a boss mom is a badass woman who is running her business and raising her children. That's what a boss mom is. And again, a boss mom is somebody a woman who has decided to, live her full potentials. That she has decided that her children cannot stop her from also fulfilling her purpose. She understands that she has so much deposited in her, so she's able to create, she understands that she has the ability to create, she has the ability to transform and also impact people's lives, apart from just her children. That's who a boss mom is.
Wow, did you guys hear that? Is a badass. Badass, which means she doesn't just wait by the sideline waiting for things to happen. She's making things happen.
She's out there. She's making things happen.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fantastic. So, in your opinion, can anyone be a boss mom, or can everyone be a boss mom, or is it just restricted to some people? Are some people born boss moms, or it's there for everyone? Can everyone be a boss mom?
Well, everyone, the way the world is, the way we have all been created, everybody can be a boss mom, but everybody will not want to be a boss mom. Okay, that's how I want to look at it. Because some people feel that I'm okay. I mean, my husband has said I should just take care of the children, so why don't I just stay at home and take care of the children? And they are just okay like that. But the truth is, every woman can decide to be a boss mom. Even moms who are working. Moms who have their own jobs. Who are working. They can actually decide to become boss moms who own businesses as well. So everybody can be a boss mom, but everybody may not be a boss mom. Yes.
So I hope you guys are taking notes, because there are some things you hear today that you need to go back and think. Can I be a boss mom? Do I have the capacity to be a boss mom? Or am I just okay sitting down doing nothing and not adding any value? These are the questions we are going to go back and ask ourselves after today. So my next question for you: when and why did you decide to become a boss mom?
When? Okay, I was actually raised by a boss mom. My mom, I grew up to see my mom as a nurse. She was a nurse, yet she had other business, side by side her job. And so I grew up to see her hustling 24/7. She'll come back from her job. She has a catering service here. She's sewing, she's baking. She's handling different events for her colleagues and all of that. So I grew up that way, and I was able to support her. I learned from her, and that really helped me. So by the time I finished from school, and I decided that, okay, I was going to get a job, because for us, that whole thing of, you went to school, you're now out, so you should get a job. So I went out searching for jobs. but I didn't find anyone. And so I decided to start sewing. I started sewing. I would do buying and selling. I started, having I started my events planning and management business as well. But all of that, wasn't working, wasn't giving me the kind of fulfillment I wanted, and also didn't give me the kind of money I wanted. Okay, so I was being owed salary. The little job I found in a private sector, I was being owed salary for 4 months, and it wasn't funny. So one of those days, I would say this is exactly was where what became my turning, what made me wake up from my slumber, because I was, just relaxing and thinking that, oh, everything will be fine, and I got so frustrated at that job because for 4 months I hadn't been paid salary, and I'm not somebody who likes to depend. I hate to depend on anybody. So even when I got married newly, I told my husband, I said, please, whenever you have money, just give me money. I will not ask you for money. When every month at this time, whenever you have money, just give me money, So, but like I said, I don't like to depend. So, but having my businesses being very slow, the events planning business wasn't giving me, like I said, the kind of money I wanted. It was super slow. And then my buying and selling business, people were owing me everywhere. And then I was being owed salary. So you can imagine every morning I have to go and stand before Oga and be looking for the right buttons to press so that I'll get money to pay my way to work. And it would surprise you that this work I was going for, I was going with my baby. I'll have to be carrying baby to work. It wasn't funny. So one of those days, I was supposed to carry my children out, take them out. Usually I take them out on Sundays. But that particular, for like few Sundays, I couldn't take my children out. And that's because I didn't have the money. As a mom, there's some things you want to do. You don't really need to involve your husband. And so for some Sundays, for like a couple of Sundays, I couldn't take them out. So one of those days, my Sundays, we came out from church, and my son told me, oh, mommy, I hope we're going to Kilimanjaro. I said, no Kilimanjaro today. And he said, what? I said, because I don't have the money. He said, but mommy, every time you don't have, Jesus. Like, seriously, that was the phrase that I heard. That phrase, I mean, for anybody, it could just sound like, oh, a child is speaking. But I don't know, somehow, that phrase got into my bone marrows. Like, it was like somebody was giving me intravenous injection. I froze on the steering. Tears were already at the corner of my eyes. I managed to drive myself back home, locked my door, and I started crying and praying because, for us as women, whenever we are faced with those kind of issues like that, we become very emotional. We start to, pray. And for me, I started praying. I was praying and telling God, open doors. And meanwhile, somebody had introduced me to an opportunity that I did not recognize was really an opportunity. But, from that day, I just made up my mind I was going to start the business, really get into this amazing business opportunity that was going to give me an opportunity to be able to unleash my potentials and also be able to impact other people's lives. And so that's how I closed my account and I started the business, on the platform where we are right now. So that's how I became a boss mom, like boss mom in the real sense of the word.
Wow. Please, if you've learned one or two things from her story, please type 111 in the comment section. You see, there is one thing about being comfortable with your current situation, and there's something else about doing something about that situation. She didn't just cry and move on and say, God, when? She did something about it. So a lot of us moms or women, we just like to be dependent. We just keep saying, God, when? One day something will happen. Nothing will happen if you don't do anything about it. She cried. She cried as we all would go to our rooms and cry when nobody sees us. Why are you crying? Because we know why we are crying, because there's no money. So at that point, what did you do? Do you cry and get up and say, honey, please, can I have 3,000 naira again? Do something about it. So our 3SD, what is your advice to women out there? What is your advice to every potential boss mom or to every woman that is just comfortable where she is?
Well, I would say this, there's something I love to always say that it keeps me going. it says that when the pain of where you are becomes more than the pain of learning something new, then you wake up into, fulfilling your dreams. Every single woman, there is no woman that was created empty. Every single woman has a lot of potentials deposited inside of her. And most times, women who do not fulfill these potentials, they become you're not fulfilled, and so you're not happy. You're in the house taking care of children, and you're just there, but you're frustrated. You're frustrated because you are not living your dreams. Because yes, you're supposed to have children, but are you going to give your children as excuses? Will you use your children as excuses for not achieving your purpose? Okay, because you have a child or you have a baby, you're nursing, so you won't live your potentials, you won't affect lives, you won't. For God's, one of the things I like to tell women, is the fact that yes, your husband can be doing well. He can be giving you money always and all of that. But the truth is, life happens. Life happens. I have a lot of stories upon stories about women who were doing well. Their husbands were doing well and asked them not to do anything. And so they sat at home until life struck, and then they lost their husbands. And then right now, so I know one particular one who is roasting corn by the side of the road right now. All of that because you refuse to wake up, you were just relaxed. So I like to always tell women that, you shouldn't just be laid back. Just because your husband is doing well, you don't relax. No. You've got your life to live. You've got your dreams to fulfill. And the truth is, if you don't fulfill your dreams, you are not going to be a happy woman. You will not be fulfilled. And your children will question you. That's the one that will hit you hard. By the time your children grow to become, whatever they want to become, and then you are just there, you've lost your life, we're not able to do anything, they're going to ask you. My children these days, you can imagine, my daughter has been asking me recently, "Mommy, when are you writing your book?" And I'm like, She said she has heard that different people are writing books. This person has written a book, this one. So, "Mommy, when are you writing your own?" So you can imagine that you get into life, and then your children are asking you, "So, Mommy, what happened to you when other people were building their lives, were building, businesses, were building their dreams?" So your children shouldn't be an excuse at all. Your family. So we have women who are living, affecting lives, doing an amazing exploit, even with children, even with a family. So your family is not an excuse. Please do not use your family as an excuse for not living your dreams, for not affecting lives, for not being a blessing. Because another point I'll also like to share, and because you are a helpmate in that family. For most moms, you're married, you have a husband, and so you're meant to support. There is nothing as annoying as, most men are frustrated with their wives who are just laid back at home, not doing anything. It can be very frustrating. But you can imagine that you're able to bring forth something to the table. You become very respectful. You're being respected everywhere, because you're bringing some value to the table. So women, you are valuable. So bring that value to the table. Add value in your family, add value to your children, add value to your world. There is nothing as glamorous as a woman who is able to live her dreams. She's a happy woman. She's changing lives and adding value to the nation, because it's not just to her family. A woman that is empowered, a woman that is doing well, a woman that is fulfilling her destiny. She's able to not just affect her family, she's able to affect her community. She's able to affect her world, the world as a whole. Thank you so much. Let me give you time for other people to speak. I know that we have other speakers on this call today. Thank you so much. I have
one more question for you. And I feel, honestly, I feel the intensity. Like, I don't know how to explain that. I can feel the boss mommishness, if I can just call it that. Like, I feel the impact of everything you're saying, and like, I'm super excited. So now I want to know, how are you now? How does it feel to be a boss mom? So you're coming from somewhere that you had cried because you didn't have money. So now that you are here, how does it feel? What are your achievements? What are your wins? What are your success stories?
My success stories. if I start now, we'll not have time for other people. But again, I will just do what I can do. The truth is, I am such a fulfilled person as I speak to you on this call. You know, when you are, yes, everybody, you know, there's something about women. We are able to see the future. We are able to see beyond the present. We are able to nurture stuff. So any woman that is able to, you know, see that potential and launch into it becomes amazing. So it's been an amazing journey for me on the platform where we are, you know, from not just being a wife to becoming that mother that is able to, you know, do stuff without, imagine, okay, let me give you a practical example. Before now, I would go, if I'm going to the, I mean, we're fixing things for the month, I'm budgeting stuff for, I don't have to budget anymore. That's the one that really trips me. I mean, I have my list. I go see stuff that I need to buy. I don't have to say, oh, let me wait to the next month, you know, because then when my husband gives you money, that is for the month. It doesn't matter what you're going to bring up again. He has given you money for the month. So you stick to that budget, you know. But right now, I don't even have to depend on that budget again. If he gives, I mean, he gives me, I take, and I do whatever I want to do. So it's amazing that I'm able to do that. That for me is really fulfilling. And the fact that, you know, for my children, I'm also able to get my children to earn. You know, one of the amazing things about being a boss mom, especially on the platform where we are, is the fact that my entire family has been transformed. Completely transformed. We're not where we used to be 7 years ago. We are completely transformed. Imagine being able to, you know, okay, let me give you this particular win. You just imagine, you know, you package a trip, an all-expense paid trip for your family. You send everything to, you got the whole package. You're sending it to your husband on an email, and he receives it and he's like, is this paid for? I said, yes, all-expense paid trip from me, for the entire family. How does that feel? Why would he open the doors for me? Why would he open the car doors for me? You know, the other day I was hearing a woman getting angry with her husband that the husband doesn't open car doors for her, that bring out chair. I said, see you. Go and be valuable. Go and add value. When you add value, you don't need to tell your husband to bring out chair for you. He's the one, he will do it gladly. All right? So, I mean, we've had a lot of amazing success stories, from not the cars, the trips, weekly income, you know, the fact that as a family, we do not have to wait for the end of the month to do whatever we need to do. I can remember every time I asked my husband for, he would tell me, don't worry, end of the month. And I used to hate that end of the month thing, that idea of end of the month. It's all over. I don't need end of the month. I don't even have to hear it anymore. So it's amazing. For me, that's big. That's really, really big. And recently, you know, one of the things we like to do is give back to the society. And we decided recently on the NGO we run, we're able to, you know, build a house for a widow. After we had built our own house, we're not able to give back to the society in an amazing way. So, I mean, if I didn't take the step I took, if I didn't decide to become a boss mom, then I'll still be waiting for the little salary that our guy is bringing back home. And then we'll keep managing till when, God forbid. So guys, it's been an amazing journey. And honestly, I'm super excited that I'm not just, you know, receiving all of these things to myself, but I'm able to help other people to also enjoy all of these amazing things that I've talked about. So it's not just me, and I'm so fulfilled, very fulfilled. Thank you. Thank you, Dumebi.
Wow. Thank you so much. Like, wow. Guys, did you hear that? She has not only been able to fulfill herself, her home, her family, but she's taking it to the world out there. She's helping other people. Like, don't we all want to be there? I know some of us still slap our children's hand in supermarkets, not because they actually, but I say, you don't need that thing. But at times, just because you don't have the money. Because at times, there are things that you can actually buy for them once in a while. But I say, every time you're always touching, like I stop touching things, that's stuffing. See,
not for the day.
We need to get to the point that we stop slapping our children's hands in public. Let them, I tell them, just have fun at times. Not every time you slap their hand, right? Thank you so much, 3SD in Inform. And we'll come back at the end of the session to ask you more questions. I can see people asking questions. Please just hold on to the end of the session and we'll answer all your questions. So our next speaker for tonight is our one-star director, Dr. Heidi Uso. Please give her a virtual round of applause and a standing ovation if you can. Dr. Heidi.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's so good to have you here with us. So thank you so much. And you look very beautiful today, as usual.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So what is your definition of a boss mom? Or who is a boss mom in your own words?
Okay. In my own words, a boss mom is a woman who is in total control of everything around her and within her. So a boss mom is a woman who is in control of everything around her and within her, and you are still able to play the role of a mother. Because what I have noticed is that a lot of people cannot marry the job of being a mom and being in control of themselves. So you see, when someone is a mother, it's as if the person has just lost everything. So a boss mom for me is someone who has total control internally and externally. So you don't take any action just because your children, your husband, or something, you're not forced to take an action or make a decision. You're not coerced to do it. You're not doing it but you're doing it because you want to, not because you had no option. That's my total definition of someone who is a boss and a mom. You're doing everything possible to lead, to stay in control, and to raise your home, to be a fantastic mother and wife. That's my definition.
That's deep. She said someone who is in control internally and externally. So she's not just moved around by the wind. She takes control. She's in charge of the situation. So in short, that's a fantastic definition of who a boss mom is. So already you can tell yourself, am I a boss mom or not? So I'm sure everybody can answer that question. Are you a boss mom? Is it yes or no? No explanation. Are you yes? Are you no? So Dr. Heidi, can everyone be a boss mom?
Yes. In fact, I believe every woman can be a boss mom. You can be a boss mom because really it's, like I said from my definition, you just need to learn how to take control. And once you're able to take control, you can be a boss mom. So any woman can, because another thing is this, as women, we are blessed with the gift of multitasking. So if you are not a boss mom, it means you're not multitasking and you're not using that gift. Every woman is gifted with that ability to multitask. And that is what it also means to be a boss mom. So if you're not doing that, then you're not a boss mom. But you can be. You just need to utilize your skill of multitasking the right way. Thank you.
And that's actually so right. Like every woman, even before you even get married, being a girl in the house, you have to learn how to cook and clean the house and do so many other things in the home at the same time. And when you get married, you probably have a baby on your back while in the kitchen, or you have a baby crying somewhere and you run out to tap the baby and say, stop crying, run to the kitchen. Like you're like a superhero, ideally. So every woman can actually, I totally agree with that. Every woman can actually be a boss mom. So when did you decide that you were going to be a boss mom and why? We would like to hear your story as well. When and why?
All right. So I'm a different person. People tell me I'm cut from a different cloth. I've always, even before I got married, I made that decision that when I become a mom, I'm going to be a boss mom. I made the decision to be a boss mom long ago. So I would say I became a boss mom internally when I was still in the university. I didn't get married until after 10 years of graduation from the university, by the way. But by that time, I was a boss mom, even before getting married and having my children. Now, I was a boss mom also to my younger one, because the issue is this: a boss mom impacts, just like our first speaker said. A boss mom impacts. So you don't have to say, oh, I don't have a child, so this is not about me. No. If you are responsible for any human being, you could be a boss mom. The question is, how are you controlling it? So I was a boss mom internally before having my children, because I knew that what I saw in the environment around me, I wasn't going to live that kind of life. I grew up seeing women always crying, always dependent, I saw women not being in control. And I just did not understand why you should just let your control go because you are a wife or because you are a mother. And now this is what is most painful. Those men whom you're leaving control for do not even want you to let go of your control. And that is the truth. I grew up seeing my mom and my dad having arguments on things that my daddy was saying, look, madam, you don't need to come to me about this. You should be able to handle this. You should be in control. Why are you coming to me about everything? These men want the control. I grew up seeing my cousins, my relatives, neighbors, every woman letting go of their control just because they are women. And that's the point. And so I just told myself, this is not the kind of life I want to live. In fact, I would say this on air, that at some point in my life, I told myself, if this is what marriage is going to be about, I am not getting married. If this is what motherhood is going to be about, I'm not going to be a mother, because I do not want to be at the mercy of another person, be it husband, be it children, and just let go of everything in life. That is a very sad and depressing life that a lot of us are refusing to admit. You can be a boss mom, you can still be in control and still have a beautiful relationship. So I told myself that this is not going to happen to me. And for that, I decided I was going to, one of the things I noticed was always the problem was financial dependence. So the first decision I made before I got married was, I will be a financially independent wife and mother. And so even while I was studying and taking care of my younger one and a few of my relatives, I started practicing what it means to be responsible for some other person and becoming financially independent. So I looked for work jobs. I hustled wherever I can. I just made sure I was not financially dependent on my parents, even by the time I was doing my master's. And I also made sure I was not going to financially dependent on my husband. When we decided to get married, we had a conversation. He said, I don't want a financially independent wife. I said, oh, thank God, because I don't even want anyone to subject me to that torture. And so we agreed. From the wedding all through to the marriage, this is my part. I'll do this part, you do this part. Then I got married, I had a child, I was working, and I realized that the responsibilities in the home grew. What that meant was that the money I was making was no longer enough for me to stay in control. Guess what? I started going back to my husband. We need this, we need that, we did this, we did, and naturally, nobody would argue with me on this. Every man will rebel. You cannot tell me that as a wife, you walk to your husband and say, we need this. And he says, take. You come tomorrow, honey, I need this. He says, it's impossible. Every man is naturally built to rebel. So the question is, if you wanted to be a control like me, I will not accept that. I was always having issues with him. He started putting a strain in our relationship. I had my child. I had this list of beautiful things I wanted to buy for my son. The coat I wanted to buy was, the baby clothes was, they were all like, and my husband was just trying to make me explain. it's not like he couldn't afford them. And that was what even was more annoying. So if you're a wife like me, you will understand what I'm saying if you were in my situation. It's not like he couldn't afford them, but somehow this man just wants you to explain everything away. So I'm like, but this court can do this, but there are other courts, right? How about you check other options? So I found myself losing control, because if I had my own money, I would do that. And that was when I started looking for another source of income, because it was obvious that my salary that was at the time enough before I got married, able to take care of my basic needs, my dependents, was not going to be enough for me to run my home the way I want to run my home. I want to buy the best pot in town. I cannot make that decision on somebody's money. I need to make my own money and buy the best pot in town. I want to buy a certain kind of bag. Cannot make that decision on somebody's money. So I started looking out for another income stream, something else. The platform that we are on was presented to me and I laughed. I said, this cannot work. This is not the platform that can give me the financial independence I'm looking for. But guess what? Somehow I came back to it. Full-chested. Got started on this platform that we will be telling you about hopefully soon. And I started gaining my independence. And I'm going to tell you something. My marriage became stronger. My relationship became better. And then let me come to my children. My kids started growing. By the time I had my daughter, I was already in this business. So you can imagine I bought that cot, I bought that stroller, I bought it all because at this time I was able to afford it. I didn't have to explain myself to anybody. And guess what? I'm going to say this. I know my husband will listen to this. Like, what's wrong with this lady? My husband saw them. I was like, I like them. They're nice. I'm like, you like them, not that bought them. When I was explaining to you, you were like, no, you can't buy them. Now you like them. And then when we stopped using some of them, he was like, yes, give that one to my sister, give that one to my brother. In my mind, I'm like, okay. But one result I got was the fact that my husband, as soon as he saw that independence, he saw how excited I was about the result I was getting. My husband did not hesitate to talk to me, to talk about me to all of his people. Anyone he comes across, your wife needs to do what my wife is doing. Your wife needs to do what my wife is doing. Your wife needs to do what my wife is doing. And that is all, I'm serious. He calls them. Your wife needs to do what my wife is doing, because this is the honest truth. In as much as he was able to afford them, as the family grew, responsibilities grew. This was a man who was doing well independently. He was building and saving for the future. When the family started growing, the savings started dwindling. It's what happens to every home. But when I was able to be financially independent, and he didn't ask me to, but I just started to make sure that I started reducing the financial pressure on him at home. I noticed that his countenance, everything around him was better. He was good, but I needed him to be at best. We are gradually moving from good to better, and we are going to get to best. We've gotten to a point where, because I do not need to ask, because he knows, and I'm going to tell this to every woman, your husband will do more for you. Your husband will do more for you when you're financially independent than he will do for you when you're financially dependent. Somehow, I don't know. It's not just about me. I've gotten this from a lot of people. Now, another reason I wanted to be independent was to be able to provide for my children. I didn't want a situation where my son will say, I want this one. I'll say, let's wait and collect the money from your daddy. No. Do you know that these days, my son will tell me, I want to buy this. And I'll say, why should we buy it? He will tell me, because I have money in my account, my own account. Take the money from my own account and buy it. That's it. And as a boss mom, remember I said you are in control. Now, I can control my home. When I mean control, I'm not saying press my family members like button. I mean run my home. Run my home be there for my family without having to create time from other things that will be taking my time. My family take my most time. They decide. I spend all the time with my children. I watch them grow. I provide for them whatever they need. I don't have to wait for my husband to come back and say, honey, I need to buy this for the children. No, I go on and do it. Of course, my husband still gives me all the support financially for the home, whatever he has decided that, okay, I'm going to make sure you get this to run the home. But what I'm trying to say is that I am becoming independent. I can sit down because I have the money and plan a fantastic Father's Day celebration with my children. A surprise, like we did during the last Father's Day. That is because I am in control. I don't need to wait and steal money from my husband or get money in another guy's from him to come and use it to plan his Father's Day. No. There are so many things that this platform can afford you. All you just need to do is to, first of all, decide that you are ready to be a boss mom, and your story will change. And that's the honest truth. Thank you very much. I know I'm taking so much time. Thank you. Back to you, Dumebi. Thank you.
Wow. It was an enlightening session. So you didn't take our time at all. Like, I'm sure we've all, please, if you've learned, I'm sure you've learned, but just type one in the comment section, because I have learned, see, women, his money is our money, my money is my money. It's not your money. Oh. Go and make your own money. Manda, I can see your hand up. We'll take questions at the end. Please just be patient a bit. Go and make your own money. His money is our money. Yeah, that's fine. But do you want to be going every day to ask for 2K, 2K, 2K? At some point, he will yell at you. And by the time he yells at you, you gotta start crying. Ah, God, now why is this how I ended up? But you can actually make it better for yourself. So, ladies, make a decision today. And so, Dr. Heidi, our final question for you for today. What is your advice to moms, to women out there, and how are you today? You're coming from somewhere that you had to be going to ask for cut money, Sedicam. So how is the situation today? How is it today? And please advise our women here, single, married, moms, yet to still very young. Please advise them. Thank you.
All right. So today I can tell you that I'm happy. I am happy. Like, I started by telling that I love control. I love being in control. And I've said this before, whenever I am broke, I have malaria and typhoid. So that malaria and typhoid that you are treating right now, check, it could actually be because you don't have money. So whenever I'm broke, I am suffering. So the fact that I don't get sick easily anymore, I know our products are fantastic, they help, but it's also a mindset thing. Remember, I said you are in control internally and externally. Apart from being able to impact the lives in my home, I've been able to touch lives around me, not financially alone, but I've been able to change the narrative in different homes by advising them and teaching them, first of all, how to control the mind and to control the physical. Because most of us, because we are unable to control the mind, we are unable to control the physical. And when we're unable to do both, it becomes a struggle. We work with our minds, we work with our homes, we work with our entire being, and we help the family. That is where I am. I am at a place where I am impacting lives, I am in control, and I am healthy and happy. I want to say this to a woman, every woman here. There was a time that my husband, I will tell my husband I want to travel, and my husband will say, who is going to watch the children? I say, Uncle, I have to travel. Say, you said you want to watch the children. That is why you resigned from your work. Watch children. But today, once before I say, I want to, you say, oh, no, I got the kids. That is what it means to be a value-added wife. And I am proud to be a member of the Value-Added Wives Association, an association where we are not just wives, we are not just mothers, but we are adding value to our homes and to our environment. When you are a value-added wife, even your in-laws are in love with you, because they know you're not stressing their brother or their husband or their son or their relative. They know you are helping. And please don't go, oh, I'm helping by just cooking and watching care of the kids. It is not his kids. It is your own child as well. And that's the mistake our mothers we do. Is it not his children? Am I not doing well taking care of his children? No, it is also your child. The fact that God gave you that child, it means you are responsible, that child comes out wholesome in every angle. And so you're not going to use that excuse of, okay, I have a child and I'm taking care of his child, so he owes me the world. That doesn't work. You can also communicate with your partner better when you are a value-added wife. You will be consulted before decisions are made. I keep saying it that I don't know about you, but being a value-added wife makes you the neck in the home and not just the external helpmate. You support the home. But how do you support when all you're doing is just doing the same work that a maid can do? You need to be different. Dear woman, you need to be different. You need to be able to stand out. Yes, someone just said, be an asset in your home. You can. Don't tell yourself you cannot. I listened to someone saying something yesterday, that the more we tell ourselves that we cannot do anything, the more our brain registers and puts us in that position of cannot. I started by saying every woman is given a gift of multitasking. You have a gift that can make you a boss mom. And as a boss mom, you are a value-added wife. Are you going to do that today? Are you going to take control? Are you going to take that gift? Or you're just going to continue hoping and hanging around those who also feel that you're not good enough? Human, you are enough. Woman, you are enough. Type it in this chat, every woman. I am enough. I can be a boss mom. I am enough. I can be a boss mom. Thank you very much. Back to you, Dumebi. Thank you.
I am enough. I am enough. Dr. Heidi shattered one table this evening. She said, the only work you can do is equal to a maid. Because some women, they're just okay in the house, cleaning and, hey, God forbid. If you're only equal to a maid, what value are you adding? Because if the only work you can do is to clean, sweep, cook, bath children, that's all. You're a house help. Let me tell you, you're a maid. So please, after this session, I advise you, come and join VAWA. I've given it name, Value Added Wives Association. Come and join Value Added Wives, because you cannot continue being a maid. Thank you so much, Dr. Heidi. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. In short, I've learned too much this evening. And last but not the least guest for today is the beautiful Answer. And you can see we are twinning with our pearls, you know. Very cool. Answer, is so good to have you here.
Thank you, Dumebi. Thank you, 3SD. Thank you, Dr. Heidi. Always a blessing. So, and I'm so excited to be here. I've not been on the Zoom meet for quite a while. So it's such a blessing. Yes.
Yeah, it's so good to see your pretty face again after some time, and welcome back.
Thank
so,
you.
Answer.
Yes.
What is your definition of a boss mom?
All right. So a boss mom has it all together with the help of others. You know, sometimes we like to think we got it all together because we got it all together, but we've also built a team of people around us that, you know, we can ease some stress off on. So I would say a boss mom is that person that has identified the nooks and crannies of where she can share her responsibility to while she is taking full responsibility. I hope you understand. It takes a lot for you to be in that position. You will just wear yourself out. But your ability to identify the people that will build, they say it takes a village, and we cannot be who we are alone. We actually have to have that formidable team. And I mean, this team could be your family, a spouse that is very accommodating your children, the nannies, the drivers, the washmen, the laundry, your office people, your PA, secretary. So, but in all, a boss mom has got it all together, directly or indirectly.
Thank you so much. So I don't know if you noticed, but all our speakers have said one thing. A boss mom is one that has it all together, and she has everything in control. So she's not running helter-skelter confused. And Answer brought a different angle. So your ability to identify the nooks and crannies where you can help, where you can be helped. And as Ezia said, not being a maid, because you will do everything, like you are doing everything but doing nothing. You are doing so much, but you're not adding value. Look for where other people can help you do the maid work while you're adding value. Please, I hope we are taking notes, because it's not like after today you go back to doing things the way you were doing before. Things need to change. You cannot just be helping to sweep and cook and take care of his children, like Dr. Heidi said. We need to learn to add value. Answer. So our second question for you: can every woman be a boss mom, or every lady?
Okay, that question is so multi-faced. Everybody can be. Every woman can be. In fact, we were born to be boss moms. If you look at it, look at from the little child, from the small girl already boss momming their baby dolls. We were made for it. It's in our DNA. But have you been able to identify that you can be a boss mom? That is the question there. Have you been able to identify that that is not for just a genre of women, that it's actually, so it's yours to take? A lot of women, we are so used to being under the shadows, you know, the shadow of your husband, the shadow of your elder sister, the shadow of your father, of your, you know, it's normal because of the society we found ourselves in. You come second. You second guess yourself. You run away from where you should be. We are so afraid to shine. We're so afraid to be the limelight. We're so afraid to take center stage. And so you second guess your ability. And you doubt yourself. But meanwhile, this is who you were made to be, a boss mom in all ramification. Because a woman, and I'm saying this because I mean, I have the girl child at home. I mentor some young ladies. A woman is, first of all, a giver before she's a taker. So you have to identify when to be a taker and keep away the giving. That means at some phase in your life, you have to identify what season you're in. There's a time to give and there's a time to take. And for you to be in control of being a boss mom, you have to be ready to take it all. They say, take it all, because there's no other option. So when you second guess your abilities, you begin to renegade yourself. So that's why I'm saying that, yes, everybody can be a boss mom, but who has identified that I am the boss mom? That means that I'm in a position to do things and take control of that which I've been blessed to take over. If you're looking at the home front, you know, I did talk, and this thing for me is just the way it is. If you look at the home front and you say, okay, I'm the boss mom in here. And every day you wake up, you're running, you're helter-skelter, your hair standing like that. You know, you're in a constant state of disarray. How are you going to boss mom your home if the children constantly see you in that frenzy? So that is when you know that, oh, you wake up, oh yes, I want to nurture my children. So maybe the driver, I love driving. So, and then I've had this nasty experience with the drivers. So, and I love driving. I should be a Formula One racer, you know. in that other life. So there's some things you can say, okay, if XYZ handles this for me, that means that I can take care of the more important stuff. I mean, we've had so many trainings on the more important stuff. So then, are you ready to take up that role in its totality? At the office front, are you still hiding under people because you don't want to be seen, but you have your business? And so then they tell you that, oh, women are two-faced because they see you with one way on this side and they see you with another. So nobody can identify who you are when you cannot even identify yourself. So a boss mom who has it all together should be able to say, yes, this is what I want to do right now. And this is how I'm not taking any prisoners. I'm taking control of where I am at any given time. And Dr. Heidi mentioned something that mom, that word mom, does not mean that you and your children, as long as somebody looks up to you for care, for advice, for wisdom, or for, they say haters, you're still a mom. So you're a figure. A boss is somebody who is in charge. A mom is somebody who nurtures. So if you nurture and you're in charge, what does that make you? A boss mom. All right, so I'm just trying to take it from another angle. First of all, you have to identify what that is and tell yourself that I can do this. I can be this person. I can be that person that people look up to because I'm available. I'm reachable. I'm able to solve situations. I'm able to hold it down. I'm able to have my job and hold it down because I bring value to the table. I'm able to run a business because the staff I have under me, when we come together, they know I'm capable and I have their back. I'm getting it together at the home front with the help of the various people around me to make sure that things are running smoothly. Is it even easy to be a boss mom? I won't lie, no. You're looking at perfection or the nearness of it. And you can't be that perfect being alone. You need the supporting partner. You need you need to have put things in place to shine on that post, yes?
Thank you so much, Ansa. Ansa practically went emotional on us. Like she was giving us like that. Like you, as in you yourself, think about yourself. Like think, and when you think, you're like, I'm not doing right. So Ansa, when and why did you decide to become a boss mom? I would like to hear your story as well.
Oh, I love to be spoiled. Lord have mercy. Okay, so I was there. I was there in the bank, living my best life, I had a very fulfilling banking career, really. When I resigned, I took quite a lot of people with me, not to my business, but because they said, if Ansa can resign from this job, then what am I doing here? So I was that person they'll call the MDs, say, this is your child, So I had a very fulfilling banking career. I was doing very well. I was heading the customer service and traveling up and down with it, and I more or less left at the peak. So they're like, she has left. I'm trying to lay this background to let you know that it was all good with me. Then this day I left home, I did not have an inkling that I was going to resign. I went to my office and I watched everybody. We were all doing our thing. And then that thing just cleared from my eyes. It was like a veil, like something just popped in my head and face. And in 2 seconds, I'm not even sure it was up to 2 seconds, I called my husband and I said to him, dude, you know what? I'm all done here. I didn't have that discussion. I just knew in my heart of hearts that this was that time. When they say the stage, the ovation is loudest, I bowed out. And when I made that decision, there was nothing else better than that phone call of I'm all done, because all of a sudden it seemed as if the whole world had lifted off my shoulder, and I didn't realize how much of a pressure I was under at that job until I made that decision and I walk into a senior colleague's office. I said, I just did something. I just called in for a resignation and this is it. And she said, I wish I had the bravery to do what you just did now. So it's not as if there was, I didn't have a tale of woe there somewhere. I just knew it was time. And when it was time and I left, I was a bit flustered because that job was all I had known from leaving school, from, youth service. It just came in and it was my comfort zone. But I knew that I had a lot more ahead of me, and I did not hesitate to luxuriate for a bit. And then my head started moving. What can you do? What can you do? That's why I make that joke like, hey, if I'd had this business earlier, would it have made this much difference for me? So I come to seasons now. There's a season and a time for everything. If your season is not upon you, it's all in vain. Because truthfully, if I had heard about Longreach at that time, I'll probably have jumped and passed. Really, it will probably be much later that if I hear about it again, I'll be like, maybe. So when a season comes and you do not take that opportunity, it genuinely passes you by. You need to be able to know that, okay, it's time for me to take off. Now, after I resigned from the bank, I took a little sabbatical, if I may call it, to just travel and explore and see things and catch up on those years of being locked up in an acid environment, and realize that there's truly more to life than that kind of life I came out in, from. And I tell colleagues there, I used to tell colleagues thereafter that, what we are doing here is not life. Like, we are just going through the motions. And then I think a few weeks before that, I don't know if this was the catalyst to that decision, but I'm a very spontaneous person also. My home was very well run. I had a housekeeper, I had a nanny, I had keepers for each child, was a washerman. It was a very organized home. And so I would run into the house in my miniskirts. I loved miniskirts then. I'll run into the house, sit down and call the children to come sit with me. It was more or less like a routine for us. And my elderly nanny, Nana, I talk about her all the time. She came downstairs and my daughter at the time, my first daughter at the time, shifted her body off my laps and stretched out her arms for the nanny. My chest, my heart, my everything broke. Like, I'm holding you. I'm your mother. I'm your mother. I'm holding you. And your nanny passes and you wiggle out. How many times do you see me? That this should happen, So something happened at that brief instant. And maybe if I agree, it is one of the things that moved my thinking that, hey, it's time to, get out of that quagmire and face these children. And I would never be prouder, because let me share a very personal story, okay, very quickly. Our son left for college. And you might think that all these years I resigned from that very, when I think of the salary alone, when I think of, the life one had at that time also. But the fact that I had time with the children and they are growing, and once that stage has passed, it's no more. The fact that my son, okay, so he left off for college and I was worried. How is he coping? How is he doing? How is he? And then the young man started sending us pictures of the pots of jollof rice he's cooking. As I says, okay, so my job here really is done. That means that there was a reason. I feel better for it, because every day shows that I did something right by leaving that place. And so what this platform allows me to do now, even though I have my other many businesses, but I'm learning how to streamline. What this platform is doing for me now is helping me to enjoy the afterlife, really. I'm calling it the afterlife because after that phase of life, there's the ability to luxuriate in the moment of where we are now. Yeah. So that, I think, is the core reason why I left. That unsettled, that, oh, somebody else is raising my children for me. So where am I in the scheme of things?
Wow. Wow. Super wow. I can see Dr. Eddie doing wow, wow, wow. Imagine your daughter or your son or your child just going to meet a nanny, like when you're there. Like, man, I can imagine the type of heartbreak. Wow. But thankfully, she did what needed to be done immediately. Like, why would you risk having that mother-child relationship just because of some job that is probably even weighing you down? Right? That's like, why? So thank you so much, Asa. I'm sure you have been able to relate with some people here that are in that kind of situation. So maybe today they'll take a decision to start something else that will help them to support their current businesses or their current jobs. So our final question for you today will be, what advice do you give mothers or women? And where are you today? Like, what is your success story? What's your present now that you are a boss mom?
First of all, advice is, that word advice is very deep. And we thank God for experiences, because when we don't experience things, we can't share them. So, and they tell you that your experience is what forms the kind of, your outlook to life. I would say to moms, be kind on yourself, be kind to yourself, love yourself, breathe. Sometimes we feel that, a lot of women that fall sick, ridiculously sick, and probably would have passed on, you'll find out they have doctor's appointments, and they're so busy holding up everybody else but themselves. Prioritize yourself as a woman. And when you prioritize yourself as a woman, you get self-respect, you get some self-value. First of all, people need to be able to, your loved ones need to be able to see you handle yourself with all the confidence and dignity that you can get. So that's basically what I'm advising, women, moms, that for you to nurture others, you have to nurture yourself. Develop yourself. Spend that money. Educate yourself. Add value to yourself. Look at your circle. I know, I'm at that phase where if I'm with my friends and we are not discussing business, there's a kind of feeling I have. And it's not about answer doesn't have phone. If I catch my phone, it's a different level, But if I'm with you and I'm not getting the kind of, I don't gossip again, for goodness sake, how is that happening? Like, I don't sit down and have aimless discussions anymore. So you must understand who you are. If you're not a whole person, you cannot give wholeness to the people around you. And where am I right now? I'm at that point where it's time to, live la vida loca, because these children are all grown up. And they'll tell you, yes, and that's another thing now. When you spend all these years, I had an elderly customer who was talking to me about, the time that women suppress themselves, like kill themselves. They kill their dreams, kill their vision. Before you were a mom, you were a girl. You had dreams, you had hopes, you had aspirations. You are an individual first. Before you're a mom or before your son's boss, you are your person. Who are you? When last did you knock on your door and say, hey girl, how are you? So before we allowed all the hula baloo of life catch up with us, we had emotions, we had our sensuality, we had our thing. And then all of a sudden, you marry, carry somebody's identity, a whole you, kill you. You just kill yourself and bury yourself somewhere. Then the children come, disaster.com. You want to do it all. You want to get all the accolades. Learn to give out these duties. Be a baby girl. and remember who you are. It will make life easier for you. And that elderly customer said to me that at some point the children will leave you. It's beginning to happen. It's beginning to happen. They leave you and you start getting depressed because you've lost your identity. And then worst of all, you don't even have a good relationship with your husband. Hey, disaster again. So who are you going to be talking to? So I just want to encourage everybody, all the moms, even the men that have sisters, that you have to remember who you are for you to be able to be a giver. So that you're not a bitter woman, old and wrinkled. So that's, the angle I want to see this from tonight. Our SDs have spoken so amazingly well. And, as I said, it's always a privilege. And I thank you for this opportunity to share.
Thank you so much, Ansa. Ladies, nurture yourself before you nurture others. If you are not doing well here, and all around, how do you expect to take care of other people? It's almost impossible. So I'm sure many people are like, how can I be this boss mom now? How can I be a boss mom? How? One of the fastest ways to be a boss mom. Yes, most of us have jobs. We probably work as a subordinate to somebody. We probably even need some lead teams. But are you really a boss? Do you really have control of your time? The best way, or the fastest and sweetest, nicest, most interesting ways of being a boss mom is to start a business. And our 3-star director, SD Inimfo Cornell, is going to tell us the fantastic business opportunity that you can leverage on to become your own boss mom.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ansa. I mean, you came from such an amazing insights that I mean, I had to be jotting down some things from what you were saying. And thank you so much. Thank you for coming from that angle. It really has given me a different look about, the boss mom. Thank you so much, Dr. Heidi. And it will interest us to know that one of the amazing things I have benefited from the opportunity I'm going to be sharing with us, in a few moments, is the fact that I have become a completely different person. Dr. Heidi knows me from university. I mean, most of my classmates who see me today from secondary school to university, they look at me like, is this in Infon? Is this in Infon, former in Infon film? I mean, so the business opportunity has, the ability to change your everything, not just, the fact that you're going to make money and all of the person you become in the process of building the business is mind-blowing. Days, years ago, I won't even sit here. I won't even talk. I can't even face a camera. I can't carry a microphone to speak in public. I mean, it was so bad that I won't even stand in my church. No matter what God has done for me, I can't give the testimony in church. I would prefer to do it in my, little circuit at home. So the business opportunity, it's actually called Long Reach. And I'm sure that many people on board here, maybe the person who invited you for this call has already told you, and you're wondering, or maybe you're looking down on the opportunity thinking that is one of those things. Ladies and gentlemen, because I know a lot of men here, the truth is the opportunity is a platform that transforms you, every aspect of your life. Okay, so it's called Long Reach, and I won't want to go through the history of Long Reach and all of that. I will just tell you that all you need to do with this opportunity is to switch your brand. It's simple. It's that simple. Switch your brand of daily consumables. One of the things that really got me wild about the opportunity when I heard about it and I decided to go, behind husband to sign up, was the fact that I didn't need my husband's approval to change my sanitary napkin. I didn't need my husband's approval to change my toothpaste, my soap. So I wasn't disobeying my husband. I was only switching my brand, because I know I've spoken to a lot of ladies who keep telling me, oh, my husband said I shouldn't be a part of it. No, I mean, I tell them about the opportunity and they come back with wonderful excuses like, oh, my husband said this, my husband said that. You do not need your husband to approve your sanitary pad, to approve your soap, your cream, your roll-on. So the basic business here is switch your brand of daily consumables. And for us women, many times I hardly see, families where men are the ones, purchasing, what you need at home. It's almost times is the women. So you are actually in charge of those things. So why don't you switch your brand? The idea is for you to switch your brand. The money you're using to spend on your daily consumables, on your, the things that your family need, you're now putting it in a business that gives you the product, and then you're getting value from the product as well. I mean, if you buy other brands, what do you get at the end of the day? Maybe just receipts from the supermarket. But here, you're getting value. We call it points value. That's where the business is. The point value is the business. All right. So when you get the point value for every product, daily consumable products, ranging from household to your personal care products, to your healthcare products, amazing products. I'm sure somebody will be talking about the products very soon. So, but the idea is for you to switch your brand, use the product, get your family to use the product. We have products for every single member of the family. So as you're using the product, every time you buy, the points are added. And then whatever the product does for you, you're sharing with another person, and from there, it grows. And, we are here to teach you. You're not on the business by yourself. One amazing thing about the opportunity is that you are in the business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. You have people who are ready, to hold your hands and walk you through the process of building the business. The support team, Ansa talked about, we have it right here on the business, So by the time we're done with this, call today and you get on board, whoever brings you on board is going to hold your hand to walk you through the process. So once you switch your brand, you get on board the platform by switching your brand of daily consumables, and you start referring, because it's a referral business. We all do referrals. I'm not sure there's anybody here who hasn't referred somebody to something, to a supermarket, to a school. Moms especially, you're always asking, what's the best school? Like my daughter is going to secondary school, and for the past how many months I've been asking which school, and people were just giving me different. I had to now, find out the ones that were most talked about and all of that. Researched it before, but somebody referred me, So we do referrals, but we don't earn from it. Do you earn from the referrals you do? No. Whoever referred me to the school my daughter is going to be schooling now will not earn anything from that referral, but that is big business for that school, So here you're paid for the referrals you do. So the idea here for women, especially stay-at-home moms, who is just at home and feeling, oh, there's really nothing for me to do. So you just get watching Netflix, you watch your African Magic, spending time and all of that. You can now switch your time into something very valuable, in the sense that all you're doing is getting to connect with people around the world. Because this business is a global business. I forgot to talk about that. It's a global business, a business that gets you connected to people all over the world. So I am here in Uyo, yet I have people in different countries around the world who are just using toothpaste, using soap, using cream, and it's counting for them right there, and it's also counting for me where I am, right here in Uyo. So that's the business we are bringing to you, to your step now. So by the time you switch your brand and then you begin to connect, I'm sure somebody may be wondering, okay, so who am I going to talk to? I don't have people to talk to. The 1 or 2 or 3 people you just share the opportunity or the product, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked that one person will go tell a nation. And before you know it, that nation is transformed and everybody is connecting to your business from there. And guess what? You get to earn for every time their toothpaste finishes and they go back to buy, you're making money. It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, no matter how bad the economy, no matter the pandemic, you are going to definitely menstruate as a woman. You're going to definitely take your bath. You're going to brush your teeth. These are things that you definitely need. Everybody all over the world, you must brush your teeth. So far, those people are brushing their teeth. They are making money, and you're going to be making money right here. That's the business, guys. That's the business, women. Value-added women, all you need to do, switch that money, the money for the month, take it to, use it to buy Longreach products, sign yourself up, sign your children up, and your husband as well. Please ensure that as you're coming on board with your children and your spouse. Do not leave anybody behind. Don't be like me. I learned the hard way, and I told myself I'm going to do all it takes, to educate everybody to understand why they need to come in with the family package. You cannot be a value-added wife like we've been talking about, and you're thinking just about yourself. Yes, we've talked about you, nurturing yourself, but in this business, you've got to come in as a family. Okay, because the truth is, no matter what you're doing, no matter what job or what other business you're doing, that business will not pay you and pay your family. But you see, the business we're talking about, it pays you and pays your children. Who does that? Who does that? Have you ever received, for those of us who work, or you do a business, you won't pay yourself and then pay your children. No. But on this business, every Thursday, my children are earning, my husband earns, and I'm earning as well. So it's a family business. So get on board with your family and watch things turn around for your good. And the truth is, as you're building the business, like I said, you're going to be building yourself, you're building people. These people that you're building, just like we have Kobana, this Obi Kobana Mother's Burial. What is happening there is a result of impacts. That is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing impact. That guy has impacted people's lives. And when you impact people's life, people will always be there for you. So don't just sit at home and feel that it's all about you. It's not just about you and your family. It's about you touching the community, about touching the whole world and making the world a better place. Thank you. So that's about Longreach, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, SD. So you heard her. It's pretty simple to become a boss mom in business. Switch your brand, tell other people about your experience with the products you have used, let them come in to also switch their brand, and you get paid for it. And the advice you need to remember, come in with your family, leave no one behind. Leave no one behind. Thank you so much, our three guests. We would like to take 2 questions because we've overshot our time. So we can only take 2 questions. If you have a question, please, I would like you to raise your hand and we'll unmute you to ask your question. 2 questions only. So the first 2 people will be asked to unmute, and okay, we have Precious. Okay, Precious, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Please, I want to be enlightened about the family package. How does it work? How do they do it? The family package.
Okay, do I answer that? Should I go ahead? Okay, the family package is simple. You're signing up yourself, you come on board the business. We have different entry levels. So you go back to whoever invited you for this call, and get to know the different entry levels, pick a package for yourself, whatever level, depending on the amount of money you have, so you sign up yourself, and then you're supposed to have 3 people directly under you. We have a structure, okay, of 3. So you have a structure of 3. So you're going to sign up yourself, and then you sign up just like you signed up yourself. Your children, your spouse will come under you, depending on the number of children you have. After the first line, then you can spill the other ones over, because you cannot have more than 3 people directly under you. So just like you sign up yourself, fill a form, pick products, pay your money into the company's accounts, get your products. You do the same for each member of your family. That's the family package. It's that simple.
Okay, thank you, SD. Precious, hope we've answered your question. Okay, so we have Bomben. Please unmute yourself and can ask your question.
Yes, good evening, bosses.
Good evening.
Yeah, I will not really say I'm new in Longreach. Yes, I've been there, but I'm still struggling with prospecting. Like, I've not been able to recruit somebody. Is there a way I can prospect better. That's just my problem. Yeah, I've been there for a while now. Yeah, I've seen people who have come behind me for 6 months and they've upgraded. I'm still a consumer. So I would like to know if there's another way I can prospect more better to my people, to my prospect. I talk a lot to people. Some really give me a lot of bias, but I don't take that into consideration. Those who don't want to really come, I don't really have any problem with them, don't want to join in the business, but I don't know if there's another way I can prospect more better. Thank you.
Okay. Who is taking it? Should I go ahead? Dr. Heidi, you want to answer?
Okay, Dr. Heidi has unmuted herself.
Okay, let me just quickly answer that one. You said something that got my attention when you said you've been in the business, you have some people who came in and in 6 months they've overtaken you, but you are still a consumer. I want you to connect with what Ansa said. You need to identify what you want. The point of saying, I want to go from being a consumer to earning income from this business, it then means that you need to start doing the activities that will earn you income. Prospecting is only one of them. Before you prospect, you need to know what you are saying. Do you attend trainings? Because the good thing about this, like as Denise said, is you have a support system where you are being trained on how to do this. This business, like as Denise said, is very straightforward. Are you using the products? If you have used the products, what do you think about the products? You said you're just a consumer. So that means you're using the products, right? So if you're using the products, what do you think about? Okay, you're not using the products. You're not shaking your head. This is a business
No,
of...
I'm not in a place where I can guess my product now. I'm far. I'm not around.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not in the country.
Okay,
far.
so I would strongly recommend you try and see how you can get your products, because it's a business of what we call word of mouth advertisement. You're sharing your experience with somebody, and that is what will get the person to want to sample the product or sample the business. So you must have an experience. And in eventualities that you do not have an experience, you should be able to know somebody who has experience and share the person's experience. When we prospect, we tell people, come and join us. That's not how to prospect. Prospecting means sharing and with the reason, the value the person is meant to get. So what value are you getting, or what value do you hope to get? That is what you will share while prospecting. You understand that now? So you need to go from just having a code to being in the business. And that starts from using the products and sharing the experience non-stop. Just like as Zinifon said, when you share, you will be surprised that even if it's 1, 2, 3 people that you've talked to, because you've told them the value that they stand to gain, what they stand to benefit, they will sign up. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, boss. Thank you.
Can I add something to that? Can I just add something to what Dr. Heidi has said? I think one of the things, our business, the business we are talking about here, requires some kind of skills. There are about 7 skills that you need to work on, in order to be good in the business. Every business has principles, and if you don't apply those principles, it's not going to work. So like you said, identify what you want and understand that you need to work on yourself. You need to work on your skills. So be willing and be teachable, be coachable, be 3 things. You need to be hungry, you need to be willing, you need to be coachable enough to actually go out there, do the needful, do the things she has said in order for you to get results. Go beyond just being a product user to getting the activities done and improving yourself. Understand that you're not going to be good at the beginning. Okay, when you start engaging the activities, you're not going to be good at the beginning. But as you keep doing it, there is mastery in repetition. As you keep doing it, you become better. So give yourself room to grow in the business. Thank you.
Thank you, boss. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe please permit me to just, hello?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
Permit me to very quickly say this, I just want to note that we like quick fixes. And when it gets to this business, they'll tell you that you must set an appointed time for yourself. A lot of
Yeah.
people have spent 40 years serving in a position, and we know the famous wall clock that we get or they get when they resign or they retire from the job. You'll be patient to wake up by 4:30 in the morning and go to a job that will treat you with such disdain, and you take it all. Patience is your name. And then in this business, they say to you, give yourself the 3 to 5 years and work your business. Like, work your business. And then all of a sudden, that's too much to ask for. But you were patient at your 17 years of working a job, So you have to wear the armor of patience in this business we are doing, and perseverance, and humble yourself to learn, because this business is not a respecter of anybody. There are people that have hammered, if I can use the word, under 9 months, but any day you wake up to the responsibilities that this awesome opportunity of ours gives you, and you work your business, there has to be a difference. At least I know that personally, that when I make the small effort, it shows. Okay, so this is just to encourage, that, as you're being patient at somebody's job, don't think that in 3 months you want to come in here and rule the world. It's possible, but you have to allow the process. You have to enjoy the process, and you have to grow steadily. So it makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ansan. And if I can also add, the fact that people come in and seem to do better than you in such a short period of time doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. Like Asa has said, you need to let the process just go as it should. Be patient to see your results at the right time. It's not first to come that always wins the race. It's not first to start running that wins the race. Tortoise and snail, we all read that story growing up. The hare was running very fast, but the tortoise still won the race. So it's not by who starts the race first that gets to the end first. So let's be patient to let the process, as long as you are doing what needs to be done, as long as you are following the process and ensure you do the income producing activities every single day, you will see results. Give yourself that time to grow and learn, attend trainings, ask questions where you are not clear, and you'll definitely see a change in your business. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And we have come to the end of the first session in our Boss Moms in Business series. Hope to see you all next week. We'll have more Boss Moms in the building that will be speaking to us next week. Have a lovely night and an amazing week ahead. I don't know if the Boss Moms have anything to say. Can unmute yourselves and give your final words.
Okay, let me start. I would like to just say that for everyone who was invited to this call today, maybe you haven't yet gotten on board the business platform we just shared with you. You need to go back to the person that invited you, and in fact, thank that person very well, and then get on board immediately. Please, I beg of you. I don't like to beg people, but I'm begging you right now. Do not analyze. Just get in and get started. And we are ready to work with you. The person who is going to bring you in is going to work with you so that you achieve success. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay, so let me go next. Thank you so much, everyone. I mean, it's really been an honor. I don't want this session to end. I just want to keep listening to more Boss Moms, but we have to go in preparation for the next one, the same time next Saturday, 7 p.m. I just want to say something, right? We have shared different stories. You can connect, I can connect. You can connect to my story. Another person can connect to Ansa's story. Another person can connect to an infant story. There are more Boss Moms that will be sharing their stories and you can connect. There's one thing we all have in common, and it's the same fact that for us to remain in control, we need a business that helps us earn in any business we can also be in control of. Not a business that ties us, or a business that controls us, or a business that rules us, but a business we can also control. And that is why we chose this long reach business, a direct selling business, because here we can control the narrative, we can control what to do, we can decide our activities, and we will still be valuable, we will still earn income, and we will still get the result we're looking for. Businesses are good. There are a lot of businesses that we have tried individually, collectively, but this is one that we all agree that can ease the pressure. I mean, running a home is already a lot of work. We're not trying to tell you it is not. Even if you're not doing the individual work, even if you're outsourcing almost everything, being able to coordinate all that is a lot of work. And so I respect every woman who is doing that and still being able to do a 9 to 5, because I know I will not be able to do it. And that is why I chose this business, where I does not require my entire 8 hours in a day. Maybe it takes 3 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours of my day, but I am still able to get the same income, the same result or more than I would have gotten in a 9 to 5. And that is why we're recommending this. Now, if you do have a 9 to 5 and you're not even happy, this is a very good plan B for you, because with this plan B, you are getting additional income. And if you hope to retire sometime to be in control of your time, you would have set up this system to support you even when you retire. We have an amazing platform. We invite you to check the system out, switch your brand, share with someone, and build a business out of this. And you will be a part of the Value Added Wives Association, and we will celebrate you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Ansa.
Thank you. So I just want to say that loyalty will make you royalty. Why am I saying this? Yes, loyalty will make you royalty. Look at the stories. We just came back from the Uforo 2021, and people's stories, we're all hyped up, and we are still, something happened. I want to give everybody this task, because we still have people that are not faithful to their products. As an adult with your own money, this is a task for everybody. Calculate what you spend on your daily consumables from January till December, from Monday through to Sunday, from, the entire, just do that calculation and ask, am I getting anything in return? The figure will boggle you. If you put that money, some people have a set fee, a set amount, a set takeaway every week, every month. They do not miss it to see and be seen at a supermarket. Why not come shop Longreach? Come to the Longreach supermarket and get value for every single product that you've gotten. Do you know you still have partners? I'm not talking of those who never saw the light, but we have all seen the light. And we have partners who are compromising the faith just because. You should, we keep on talking of people that say, oh, I wish rice has PV. I wish water has PV, because that is where we are at now. I've more or less converted every single product we have to be multifunctional for me. I will find a way. If we don't have it, I will look for one of our things, and change the function. So I just want to implore everybody that do the maths and ask, am I getting anything? How much more when this platform can give it to you on a platter? Let your conscience prick you this night. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So in summary, ladies, join VAWA today. Men, tell your wives, your sisters, your moms to join VAWA today. You can unmute yourselves and say good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you very much, everyone.
Good night. Thank you very much.
Good
night.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Esther.
Go ahead.